Hello, welcome to Hare and Hawthorn. My name's Kate Ray and I'm your host. And again, for the second time in the last few months, I'm doing a alone. So I'm on my own chatting, haven't got a guest. And what's it all about this morning? Now, it's pretty early for me to YouTube, and I'm doing it because I'm super excited about some of the developments that took place yesterday. So today is the 30th of April, and Erwin is back. He's back. So he posted yesterday, and he got an amazing amount of hits on his new YouTube video. I'm going to talk you through that. So we're talking about Erwin Saunders. Before I get into the new video, just want to address a couple of things from the last video that I did. And I know that I got a few comments from people and I didn't get around to responding. I'm not great technically, so getting on my laptop and responding. So I do apologise to people for not responding directly to you. So one of the things that came up and I had messages about was his identity. So Erwin's identity. And I am very aware that it is a character. Erwin is a character. I'm very aware of that. And yes, I do know the name of the person behind the character. I said in the last video, to me, it does not matter. In fact, it's almost part of everything that's going on, that we have this person who is playing this character and bringing these things to us. So yes, I am aware of that, and thank you very much for people who sent me those messages. Sorry, I was just getting pop-ups and messages there. And like I said, I don't care. I really don't care. I really don't care. What I care about is how this guy has captured the imagination of so many people. His YouTube channel has gone through the roof, particularly since his very cryptic last video that we saw. And he deserves it. He definitely deserves it, because there is something incredibly magical about what he's doing and what he's doing to me. So I know that people who watch my channel know that I'm a paranormal investigator, definitely with the fairy influence, and fairy hunting is definitely something that floats my boat too. I do like the idea of going out and using paranormal equipment to be able to try and capture some of the things that we capture within the paranormal world, but within the fairy world. So Erwin, if you're watching this, and I've got a sneaky suspicion you did watch my last video, which I will say why later on. If you're watching this and you want somebody to come out and do some evidence hunting with you, I would love to do that, please. And if anybody wants to sort of bother Erwin about me going along and doing that, I would be overjoyed. It would certainly make my year. So that's my shameless kind of ask out, really. So yesterday's video that he posted started off with the milestone, and I think I said in my last video I was pretty sure that he wasn't showing a gravestone in his cryptic video, but he was showing a milestone, and there was this perfect rolling vista that was obviously a British one. I didn't update my video from last time because of there were a lot of people out there who were decrypting the whole video much better than I could. They were decoding it much better than I could, and I sat for the first night and decoded a lot of the wording to it, but people went into a real depth with it that was just mind-blowing. You know, the rabbit holes that they went down. Rabbit holes, that's a good one, connection. Anyway, the depth that they went into, I didn't have the capacity to do that. So for me, though, it is what it is, but it's hidden in plain sight. And I think this next video really starts to pick apart some of those themes that were in the cryptic video and starts to expand them. And I don't think that this is going to be the last reference. The last video that we saw with the tombstone and the question marks, it was Erwin Saunders, question mark, question mark, question mark. I think that they are clues for a whole raft of things. I don't think it was just an announcement that he was going to be back in spring. I think that there are other things in there that people were digging way too deep with that actually will come out and you'll just go, oh, it was that. So I'm going to talk you through the video. I watched it last night, and I was so excited, and I was actually talking to the video as it was playing. I haven't watched it again because I just wanted to give you my initial reaction. As it came up, there is definitely a sense of the filmography, and the feel of it is a lot more slick. It's a lot more smooth. It's a lot less guy with a handheld camera and more a production. Not too much though, but the opening of that video, I don't know why, it reminded me of Last of the Summer Wine. And then when Erwin came into shot, his beard has got very much longer, and white now, so he's not peppered through. He's got this huge David Bellamy beard. He's got the quintessential lockdown long hair, and of course he's wearing the kind of gentlemanly outdoor, slightly scruffy garb, which I love. And he's still as bumbly and as lovely. But that Last of the Summer Wine was my initial kind of, you know, what's going on here. I don't know why that popped into my head. So we see him standing next to the milestone and explaining, yes, it is a milestone. And he doesn't really go into that much depth of his cryptic video. Like I say, I think this is going to be something we're going to see rolling on for a while now, sort of weaving in those connections. I'm hoping so anyway. And he explains that no, it's not a gravestone and it's not anything macabre, etc. It's just a milestone. And it was a milestone, I believe, because of him reaching a certain number on his YouTube channel. It could be some other milestone. You know, it could have another meaning. So he's up in the moors, and I hope I don't get this wrong because I literally just watched it yesterday. He's up in Dartmoor, and he's going to go and look for bog fairies or pixies in the bog. And he's walking through, and he introduces us to the infamous Tom. So all the way through his previous videos, he has alluded to this student of filmography, Tom, who was helping him out with putting things together. And there is quite a funny bit where I don't know whether he's superimposed him into previous videos or whether he's been back to that place before. But Tom's sat there in a previous video. So we're introduced to Tom. And Tom's this young lad who very much looks like he is a cameraman, and he's got that very sort of sweet, geeky look about him, and they make a good pair for visuals, and it's obviously a sweet relationship. So I kind of get the feeling that Tom's pretty close to Erwin. Yeah, I've got some thoughts on that. I'll keep those thoughts for a while. So we see him, and the first thing that happens is he shows us a rabbit hole and says, this is a rabbit hole. This is, you can see where the rabbit's running around, etc. But I want to show you something else. And he shows us what he says is a pixie trap for a rabbit. So it's a hole and a long drop into a bowl that pixies will then tempt rabbits drop into, and then the pixies have a big feast, really. I can imagine it being a massive feast for a bunch of pixies. And he puts his foot down it to show you the length of the hole. Then he puts a torch down it, the torch gets stuck, and it's all this lovely sort of sweet bumbly interaction with, oh, my torch is stuck, and he's trying to pull it out. He then spots a pixie in a distance, and I watched this on my mobile phone yesterday, so I'm going to upload it onto my laptop so I can see a bit better in more detail. But you just see this sort of little shadowy figure sort of flitting around the gorse bushes, and he pursues it, and he keeps going, and he's chattering over the moors and what have you. And I'm rambling through this because I want to pick out the bits that really stood out, and ones that I think are relevant. So he's rambling through the moors, and he keeps seeing this character and he's following it, and then he gets to a stage where he's picking these little yellow flowers. Why is this pixie picking these little yellow flowers? Now this, I think, is significant. So the gorse bush flowers, which are out this time of year, and are very small yellow flowers that grow on a very prickly shrub. very dense, prickly shrub. And he says, oh, it's got a basket full of them. So he carries on following it, and it's the kind of ramble too. And he comes to a very small stone circle it's obviously in the moors itself. You know, it's obviously some kind of Bronze Age, Neolithic circle that has maybe been buried in time, and it's only very, very small. They're about a foot big, maybe a little bit bigger, some of the bigger ones, and it's concentric circles by the looks of it. And there's one particular stone that the Pixie has obviously left the gorse flowers under. And Tom says something like, do you think it's a grave? And he said, no, I don't think this is a grave. I don't know what it is, kind of thing. So this is the next significant thing for me, is this stone circle and the offering and the leaving of flowers. And he says that pixies are very superstitious. So we have that pagan reference of leaving flowers. So today, 30th of April, tomorrow we've got Beltane. So Beltane, along with Samhain and Midsummer, is one of the times of year where we get to interact and see fairies and interact with fae. And it very much made me think of that this offering may be something to do with Beltane Festival or Coming Up Festival. Yellow flowers definitely represent the coming of the sun and summer, and the stone circle has become representative of midsummer. So maybe we're going to see some developments out of that into midsummer. The next thing that stood out was Erwin went over to another stone and said, what are these? And on my phone I was like, are they eggs? And that in my mind was like, well, that's a reference to the last video that he did, that these little eggs as an offering. And then I looked again and they're like, oh my God, the sherbet flying saucers. I wonder whether there were sherbet flying saucers in the cryptic video and not eggs. And everybody assumed that they were eggs or rocks. And there was an interaction with him and Tom about why Tom had left them, and it was inconclusive. And they ate some of them and left one of them. So Tom had left this offering of flying saucers on a Neolithic site. And it was that for me was this is going to go somewhere. I'm hoping the flying saucers go somewhere. I hope this is like some weird offshoot development. Maybe we're going to get alien interaction. Who knows? So that was pretty much in a nutshell the things that stood out for me. I am going to watch it again today, and I may come back and do another video, but I just wanted to come on and chat through my excitement for this new upload video. And thanks to the lady who gave me the heads up on that, who texted me last night and said, he's back, I'm dead excited, you've got to watch it. So yeah, thanks for that. So one of the things that he did mention in the video, and makes me wonder, I don't know whether I was the only person to liken his work to this, but makes me wonder whether Erwin's actually seen my last video about him. So I made reference in my last video that it definitely gives me the feel, his whole work gives me the feel of the golden hare, which was, I've forgot it again. I can't remember what the book was called. I think it was The Treasure Hunt. I don't know. I've got it somewhere on my shelves as well. I'm rubbish with remembering. But the Golden Hare book was a treasure hunt, a very, very cryptic riddle treasure hunt, and where the author buried a very beautifully he made a handmade golden hare piece of jewelry in a specific location, and this location was only noticeable at a certain time of year. It was brilliant how it was put together, and I'm sure there's loads of YouTube videos about this guy's life and how it's weirder than the book. When the book took off, all the things that were around it and the kind of the skepticism about the person who found it, and etc. etc. But let's put that to one side. I might do it. I might do a YouTube about that, because it's his life is interesting as well. So Erwin's work really gives me the sense of this. It's going to be a big treasure hunt, and I did say that in the last video. And in his new video, he says something about I might do it as a treasure hunt. And I just thought, did he watch my video? That would be super, super cool. Super cool. I would be overjoyed. Erwin, I'm going to give him a shout out again. I did this on the last video. Please, please, I would love to interview you with complete and utter joy and respect. You know, there will be no expose or nitpicking on that side of things. I want to interview Erwin Saunders, and I don't care about who Erwin Saunders may be when he's not being Erwin Saunders, because you've brought such joy to people. And it's a beautiful thing to see. I did ramble on about the beauty of your videos. Please, if anybody's got any other things that they picked up on the video, drop in the comments below, let me know. And I am going to have a look at it again, and I'm hoping that the stuff now from him is going to come pretty thick and fast, and that we're going to see a momentum building up with his videos, because he's definitely got the following now where this could go really big. What I am hoping, one of my hopes is with all this, and it is a very personal thing, I hope this doesn't get too slick. And I hope this doesn't get into franchise and website and t-shirts and whatever else. Oh, t-shirts might be good though. Yeah, I can think of a few ideas for some good Erwin Erwin t-shirts, but I hope it doesn't get too commercial, because some of the beauty of it is that it has got a sense of this person, Erwin's doing this for the joy of doing it, and it definitely comes across. And I think anything more on the produce side, making it a product, would spoil that, would definitely spoil that. So let me know what you think about the latest Erwin Saunders video. As you can tell, I'm quite excited about it. Also, please check out my my other YouTube uploads. Couldn't think of the word then. So in a nutshell, Hare in the Hawthorn is a channel where I talk about fairies from a paranormal perspective, and I have been doing interviews with people from all different walks of life, to try and answer questions about the Fae, deeper questions about the Fae in a modern sense, and not in a folklorish sense. So modern encounters, people who work with fairies, people who write about fairies. I've had some fantastic guests, so please check that out. That'll be great, and let me know what you think. And it's Beltane tomorrow. I'm super excited about Beltane tomorrow. I've got lots and lots of really good stuff planned, and yeah, going to be getting up super early and doing lots of Beltane shenanigans. So I might post about that actually. But again, let's put a plug out to Erwin Saunders, and thank you so much for bringing such joy into the world.